I need to get the energy up, because if Pastor Kingsley comes here, he has to have better energy, right? So we were taught that order has to be practiced. Can we practice some order? Hello, everyone. Absolutely. I bring you greetings. Well, I'm Houston based, and we had a program. I think you were there, but I had to come and just honor my brother and to tell him welcome. My name is Eden Ionwuka. Amongst other things, I'm a trained consultant. I advise business owners for a living, and I work. Most people don't know I actually have a job. I do have a job. I work with Bank of America, and I've been supporting business owners for 12 years. I am also a trained coach. That's what I'm known for. I coach women and also specifically serve as a mediation specialist to broker courageous conversations between couples. You know, when that person you married, you can't talk to them again, bring us in. I'm a capacity builder for women. I believe that even if you're single, we can chase 1,000. If you're single, you can't chase 1,000. And if you're married, we should be chasing 10,000. I'm a discipler at heart. I disciple a community called The Expressions. Every day we meet for 2 hours praying and discipling, because that's the Great Commission. But the greatest testimony of all of this, I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 3 amazing girls, and the wife of a good God man. One of the greatest testimonies is that I'm a recipient of mercy. I've survived cancer twice. With no family history, no risk exposure, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2017. That's why I call God the counselor of cancer. I survived. Then in 2022, for the second time, surprisingly, I was diagnosed for another cancer, and I survived again. And that's when I called God, not just the counselor of cancer, but the destroyer of death. Would you just put your hands over your head and just give God praise on my behalf? Absolutely. So I take purpose really seriously. When people ask, why are you doing everything you're doing? I said, you don't know what you have when you're alive. Do you understand? You live, I get to live. So we are not running the same race. And when you get to live, you do one thing, you create. You step into, like I said in the conference I spoke, you step into your mold as a creator or co-creator with God. The reason why you are not chasing 10,000 or 1,000 is think you have time. When God has given your life back on a platter of grace, you have a sense of urgency around you. Not from a place of fear, but from a place of aligned purpose. I want to encourage you today to go back to either your single life or your married life and create. Create. You know, when in my 12 years of professional counseling and coaching, one of the things that increases the pain of grief is regret. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. What could I have said differently? If I had to do over, could I have loved more, forgiven more? Are there conversations I wish I had? Are there confrontations we could have had? As a single girl, when you marry, after the euphoria goes down and you are now aligned in purpose, you wonder, could I have bought a plot of land? You said the money is tight now. Wait till you are married. Could I have started a business 15 years ago? Could I have taken a course now that I have flexibility of time, that I, in a sense, don't need to clear with someone before I go? Could I have moved locations? And I will share my story. I just came to speak to the single people. Beautiful, anointed, but for some reason, the order was not ordering. I was anointed like the Samaritan woman, but I also had a track record of repeated wrong relationships when I was single. Some of you don't have a problem with attraction, single. You have a problem with retention. The question is not will they come. The question is will they stay. That's the problem of the Samaritan woman. She knew how to attract people. She even attracted Jesus. Was that the only well there? I'm sure there were other wells. She had something. There was a power that brought people to her. And when Jesus came, she just stood at the well. Jesus came. And she had a gift of attraction, but didn't have the gift of retention, because it takes knowledge in order to retain what you've attracted. So attraction was not an issue. My friends used to joke, say, they're always proposing to you. It's not, the issue was not that they were proposing, it's that they marry. So at some season in my life, I had to look at myself and say, there is something going on here. I don't have an issue with attraction. They came. I had an issue with, not will they come, but will they stay? And we can lie to ourselves and say they are the problem. When you've had like 3 or 4, you know that the common denominator in this matter is not them. It's you. So I took an honest look at myself and said, what is in me that calls out to these kinds of people? Why do these type of people come? The first one, Femi, narcissistic. Second one, Body, narcissistic. All of them. What is that broken thing in me that brings the same type of people? If you have a cycle in your life, you are the common denominator of that cycle. So rather than saying what they did to me, and there's a place for that honest conversation, but the conversation should be, what is in me that calls out to these kinds of people? How is it only you that the heartbreak has come to? I'm talking to the single person and a couple of people, maybe 4, who this message is for. And that's what I did. I said, there's something wrong. The kinds of people I come, they attracted in my single life at a later stage. So I started from choosing not to marry all the doctors. And I chose and chose until nobody was there again. So if you are raised from, I'm from the East, I was born in the West. I served in the North and I schooled in the South. So I'm pretty much balanced. So if you are from an Igbo eastern part of Nigeria and your first daughter, they will come. They were there, doctor, no. A lawyer, no. Engineer, no. I won't born again. I did that, no, until the meet and they stopped coming. Then I started praying for them to come. Nah, we did no, from 19. And we entered 27. Suddenly, no became, Lord. Oh, yes, because I know some of you married at Spring Chicken. Congratulations. You went to your father's house and they took you. Some of us didn't marry at Spring Chicken. We married at brown roasted turkey. Our prayer point had prayer point that had prayer point. You've job, check. Car, check. House, check. Man, checkmate. So after, no, we're now saying Lord. Then that's when all those Okenochicha means rat and roach. So they started coming. And maybe you are here and you are wondering, what is going on? I want you to do something that I did. Everybody must come to an epiphany where you just ask honest questions. What is in me that is bringing these kinds of people? And that's exactly what I did. And I said, hey, there's something missing here. It's not the anointing. It's not the beauty. You know what is missing? The posturing. Why are these type of people coming? Criminals. Sorry, not criminals. Criminals. The day that my eyes opened was when somebody tried to introduce me to this guy in UK. And I got his number, hoping that maybe the Lord will have mercy upon us. Since we are no longer spring chicken, we are roasted turkey. And I called the guy and I heard, welcome to the Nottingham Correctional Center. That's when I knew that my case needed Jesus. When... You've attracted even the jail. That's where you should go to Dunamis and catch fuego, fire. Welcome to the Nottingham. That day I dropped the phone and looked at myself. I needed answers fast. And I said, God, what is going on here? What is in me that is calling forth to people like this? And this is not just a principle for marriage. It's a principle for resetting order. If you see yourself in a cycle of failed business, what is in me that is attracting this cycle. If you see a pattern of responses for covenant relations, what is in me? You're quarreling with everybody in your office. They don't understand you because you're an immigrant. One name, what is in you that is bringing this pattern? If you don't ask that question, parenting, everybody's crazy. Even dog is crazy. Cat, everybody, including your children. What is in me that is bringing this? What is in me that is calling forth to these kinds of cycle? What is in me that is attracting this kind of people? I want us to stand up and honor our fathers, our mentors. Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. They trained me well. What am I saying when this man is entering the water? What am I saying? No, you stop. That's how you do. You stop and you stand up and you keep clapping. Absolutely. When you have 27 years of ministry experience, you can do anyhow. TK, I love you. God bless you, sir. When you've done 30 years, then when the people like this come, then you don't stand. Please sit down. And I'm just going to wrap this up in 2 minutes because the man of God, the man of a great God is here. What is in me that brings forth this cycle? I want someone to go out and have that question. The greatest prayers are not prayers of supplication. There is a place of that. The greatest prayers are not prayers of warfare. The greatest and most underprayed prayers are prayers of inquiry. The what is in me that is calling for to this cycle. I prayed that prayer. And the answer God showed me was simple. He said, you have a needy soul. And maybe that's the answer for a single person here. Not all of you. Maybe the question is not that you're not prepared. Maybe your soul is needy. And when you have a needy soul, you have a desperate posture. And desperation is always a turn-off for attraction. I don't care how beautiful you are. The moment you are desperate, you begin to sound like Leah in the Bible. Leah was so desperate that even she named us children according to desperation. See me, touch me, hear me. Reuben, he has seen me. Look, I have a son. Simeon, here. Levi. I want somebody here to go back and ask God, what is in me that is calling forth to this pattern? When I had that answer, it was no longer about what they were doing to me, about what they were, it was about me. So I partnered with God in the place of continuous prayer for years to break that cycle. And the next thing I did, I went back to divine order. Part of divine order is going back to God's will for my life. I'd wanted to school abroad. It wasn't a Jagba. This was before Jagba. It was just something I'd seen in God's blueprint for my life. I love school. And I just said to myself, if I didn't do my MBA in Unilag, I would do it abroad. So I went back to the last thing I said to God about schooling, and I relocated and studied in Boston, Massachusetts. Remember, I went back to fixing the broken thing by asking honest questions, because when you see a pattern, it's not them. You are the common denominator for everything you witness. And I went back to purpose. That's why I don't teach just purpose discovery. I teach purpose rediscovery, to go back to what God once said. And some of you, your next instruction is the last instruction. You don't need another prophetic word. You just need to go back to the last thing God told you, October 2, 1997, that you did not do. The very last instruction might just be where you start. So I went back to school. And because God is kind and his eyes are always on the road, I met my amazing husband. And this time I didn't have to call somebody in jail. I didn't have to call somebody in jail. He came with precision, passion, and purpose. I stayed and let him chase me. Some of us cannot stay to be chased. And when that thing was doing me some, I remembered how hard I worked for this man to come. I will see the phone ringing. I will count to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jesus. God bless you. Let me let PK take it.